Hello beauties, how are you all doing? Shaz here with another to buy or not to buy. In this video and in these kinds of videos, I talk about makeup that has recently released or has been sneak peeked, and I tell you if I'm intending to pick anything up, what I'm thinking about these releases. I also encourage you to do the same in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts on these releases. Also, I'm going to do this eye look with the Chucky palette from GlamLite. This palette and this whole collection is going to be restocked in a few days from the day I'm filming, which is why I'm doing this eye look with this palette. If that sounds good to you, as always, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing to my channel if you're not subscribed already. Let's go into the video. Today I'm going to use GlamShop brushes for doing my eye look. GlamShop is having a sale, I believe, until August 15th. Check their website out, don't quote me on this. I'm pretty sure it ends August 15th, and I'm pretty sure some brushes are on sale. I think they mentioned that items are on sale up to 40% off. So check their website if you've been waiting on a sale or anything. Check their website. I have 2 videos at least of swatching GlamShop singles that I have. I'll tag them in the description box below if you're sort of browsing their website and you're not sure if you want to pick anything up and you want to see how the swatch works. Separate from that, we are going to be using this beautiful palette, and the reason for that is that GlamLite. Everybody has a glam in their name. Everybody's glam. GlamLite is going to restock this palette tomorrow, the 13th. Actually, if you guys are watching this video, it might already be the 13th of August. So they're going to be restocking this whole collection. In fact, if you all remember last time when they did the restock, they brought also a bag, a handbag. I think that handbag might also be coming back. Check their website. I used it in another to buy or not to buy. I'll tag that to buy or not to buy also in the description box below if you're curious what kind of looks you might be able to do with this palette. Plan for me today is to do an all matte look. Separate from that, I usually at the beginning sort of talk about the stuff that I've bought. I haven't really bought a whole lot. As you all know, I am on a no buy, except for one thing that I mentioned I'm going to buy last week, which was the Glaminatrix release, and I did purchase that. But I'm endowed with amazing friends beauties. I have a friend send me a goodie bag. If you all know, I mentioned in a few videos ago that I was just going through a rough patch. I'm still sort of going through the same kind of rough patch. So a friend sent me a goodie bag of some Korean skincare stuff. I've never tried this brand, so I'm looking forward to doing that. And you know, if you all are interested, I can talk about it once I use it and have an opinion. She also sent me some nails, and you all know I love nails. They are so cute. So once I start wearing them, I'll talk about them, and I still owe you all at least a video on how to put fake nails on. She also sent me this beautiful lipstick, which is just extremely glam. Let me quickly show you all that. This is just extremely legit, separate from the fact that this color is gonna look amazing on me, and it will actually also go with this shirt. This lipstick is just super legit, so I'm looking forward to this. Is the brand for this is Catkin. Yeah, I'm looking forward to using these. I don't know if I'm going to use them today, but I'm looking forward to using them. If there's anything you want me to talk about in the future of these things, write it in the comments below for me. But let's get started because I don't want to be talking for too long. I'm going to put Eye-Cing from GlamLite. This is in the color Buttercream on my eyes. And beauties, I forgot to mention, but as always, I have my coffee here. We are not going to have a candle today. Oh, and beauties, before I forget, these nails, I think I've shown in another video as well. These are from the Magnetic Collection, Slick-adelic Magnetic Collection from Clionadh. These are the color Psilocybin, something like that. And I tried to magnetize them. I don't know if I did it the right way, so I don't think you can really see the magnetic effect, but I'm getting a hang of it. I'm getting a hang of it. I feel like this one, you might be able to see sort of a line there of green. Yeah, they're you know, it's one of those things that has a neutral shift, and you all know I love, well, if you didn't know, and this is your first video, first of all, welcome to my channel. Second of all, I love neutral multichromes, or multichromes that have at least a neutral one neutral shift. Okay, without too much talking, which is a thing I love doing, let's jump in. So I just opened my Instagram, and the first thing that I'm seeing is Blend Bunny Cosmetics' release. This is going to happen on the 18th. This is a palette called Forget Me Not. It's supposed to be an eye and face palette. I'm guessing there's probably going to be some pinks, probably nudes. I think I guessed the name of this, and one of the guesses I put was Forget Me Not. So they had some sort of a guessing game on Instagram. I am looking forward to the reveal of this, but I'm gonna guess that it's probably more neutral-ish. Also, I am on a no buy, so it's probably not gonna happen. Yeah, even if it's something amazing, it's gonna have to wait a little bit. But let me know if you're gonna pick this up. It's launching on the 18th at 10 a.m. PST. Beauty is, it also seems like Blend Bunny Cosmetics is releasing a few brushes, and I'm guessing these are going to be face brushes just by the looks. Can't wait. I have their last brush collection. I have used it in this channel. I have some of these brushes here. This was the eye brush collection. I had like 5 or 6 brushes in it. I've used it in this channel in the past in eye looks. I like it. The only issue I have with this brush collection, the eye brush collection, is that it needs one larger, fluffier brush. Blend Bunny, if you're listening. And I've mentioned this in, you know, in the videos where I've actually used them, that it's missing a fluffy brush just to like blend everything. Ideally, I would like to have 2 of those in a brush set. Another release is from Kaleidos makeup that has not had a release in quite a bit. I feel like the last release was a year ago. And they have now completely revealed their Alma Viva collection that's going to release on the 17th at 8 p.m. PDT. And this I'm trying to figure out what is new in this collection, because I'm seeing 2 nudie quads. And didn't their last collection had 2 nudie quads of nudes and purples? I did not pick anything up from their last collection. I think the last purchase that I did from Kaleidos is way over a year ago. I just thought the nudie quads were just not for me. You know, the purple one was pretty, but it was too nude for me to want to order something from China. If you all know, Kaleidos is made in China, and you need to pay quite a bit for shipping. So I was just not interested. In fact, the only thing that I've been interested from Kaleidos recently were the lip clays. Don't own any of them, and was wondering if I should buy some and test them. But again, ordering from that far away, I don't know. I feel like this launch and the last launch, the outside is very romantic, sleek, and just nice, and very nice design. I feel like Kaleidos makeup does not disappoint in the outside design. Also, beauties, I already talked about Chucky. Let me tell you more details about the restock. It's going to be a limited quantity restock of the full collection, including the bag. The bag is going to be $30, and the restock is on the 13th at 10 a.m. CST. It says the bag will ship by mid-October. Beauties, let's talk about this one. I don't think I talked about it last time, but Ladybug Glow has another palette that they have revealed. Apparently it's already available. It says available for early access. I don't know what that means. I think I mentioned in my last video even the challenges I've had with Ladybug Glow. I've been interested in some of their products, but I just could not find it on their Etsy page. I also don't think there's any other location where they sell their stuff. But evidently, this is already available on their Etsy page. Also, beauties, with Ladybug Glow, you can use someone's code. Will I be picking this palette up? Not really. I can dupe this palette with a lot of the stuff that I have. So the vibe is just not that new to me. In one look, it looks very neutralish, although it's not really that neutralish. But I feel like I just have this. It's not that exciting. It's not that exciting. Moving on, beauties. I talked about this last time. Ensley Rain Cosmetics, beauties. Strawberry Moon palette for $76. And now we have the swatches. Now, I have some news for you all that I'm going to mention in a minute. But I'm very, very insanely tempted. But this would have to wait until September. The palette was $76. We talked about it last time, but you can get it as a bundle. The bundle option is $200. Now, beauties, we've seen this from Ensley Rain. In the past, their bundles are within that price range, so I'm not too surprised. Let's quickly talk about what's going to be in the bundle. So the bundle is going to have the palette, 5 Multichrome Moon Dusts, and 4 glosses. So obviously, for someone like me, I don't use glosses. These are lip glosses. I don't think they're eye glosses. I think they're lip glosses. Yeah, it says lip glosses. I don't use glosses. I don't like sticky lips. So for someone like me, bundle doesn't make sense. But the Multichrome Moon Dusts, beauties, these look like pressed multichromes, which is great because I don't do loose multichromes. I'm a clumsy human being. And I could create a gigantic mess in a second. It actually seems like there's 2 bundles. So the first bundle is the one that I mentioned. The second bundle is going to be $285. This is going to have the palette, 5 Multichrome Moon Dusts, 4 Holochrome lip glosses, and 5 Holochrome pressed shadows. So regardless, the bundle doesn't make sense for me because I don't do glosses. And if I pick anything up, it's going to happen September. And beauties, very likely later in September, because I'm very likely not going to be in the country for a few weeks. I don't want to order anything that might get to me during the time that I'm not here. So sometime mid to end of August, I mean, we're already in mid-August, so end of August to middle of September is probably going to be out in terms of me wanting to order anything or receive anything. Beauties, let's talk about this one because I've talked about Spectrum Collection in the past, or Spectrum Collections. They now have released this. I'm guessing this is a collaboration with Lilo and Stitch. Why in the universe are these collaborations so darn expensive? This 6-piece brush set is $55? And the makeup bag is $32. I mean, I kind of feel like these are for children. Does anybody actually buy this and feel like, oh, I'm an adult and this is so glamorous, I'm going to use this? I feel like a lot of their collabs are things I would want to buy for kids. Or if I buy them, it's because I kind of connect to them as like my inner child connects with it, you know? So I don't get this. I don't get the price. I feel like it's just so overly expensive. Also, beauties, this is available if you're interested. I have bought a whole lot of makeup brushes. I'm also trying to save money to buy higher end makeup brushes, so it's probably not going to happen for me. Beauties, now that we're talking about brushes, let me also remind you that Rephr is having its annual summer sale right now. In these sales, they usually have buy one, get one free. I believe that at the last annual sale, I bought their whole eye brush set that I have. I know they released 2 or 3 brushes recently, and I remember one of them or 2 of them were for hooded eyes, and I'm actually super curious to buy them and try them. It's just I'm not going to be in the country very likely by the time these arrive, so we'll see. But the sale is going on right now. It's been going on for a few days. I'm also on a no buy. So I have to wait until the next sale. And I have bought enough eye brushes. I've bought enough eye brushes. I don't need any new brushes. And realistically, I don't use my Rephr brushes that frequently just because I have so many brushes and, you know, I get new ones. I want to try them. I want to test them all for you all. So, but the sale is going on. If you have been waiting on a Rephr sale, it's happening right now. Beauties, this one from Notoriously Morbid. So beautiful. Now, the thing is, this is pretty neutral, but it's an amazingly grungy, beautiful, deliciously fall looking type of a palette. The only thing is that I think I can dupe this palette with a lot of the stuff that I have, which is the reason I'm not buying it. I'm waiting on buying something from Notoriously Morbid when they release something that's very, very unique. Now, you all have been telling me everything from them is very unique, which makes it difficult to decide what to buy. But beautiful, beautiful. Great job, Notoriously Morbid. You never disappoint, at least. They are amazing eye candies. This palette's going to be $30. It is releasing... I think it released yesterday, so it's available by the time you're seeing this video, unless it's sold out. And beauties, with Notoriously Morbid, you can use someone's code, so don't forget to do that. I don't know what's with that gold one with the multiple colors and sort of the patchiness. Is that just a fluke in the photo, or is that supposed to look like that? Let me know if you know. Beauties, Bella Beaute Bar has sneak peeked this, called Recently Deinfluenced. And this is sort of the sneak peek of something that's going to happen in September, or it's going to come on in September. And they have also separately sneak peeked this, which I'm guessing is the inside of the same palette. Oh, again, also a sneak peek for September. So Bella Beaute Bar, we're waiting. Thankfully, it's not releasing now because I just can't. No, bye everybody. And you know that Bella Beaute Bar is one of the brands I would like to try, and they rarely disappoint, at least what it looks like. I've never tried them, obviously. Because I'm getting all kinds of stuff related to advent calendars and Halloween stuff. I mean, even for Halloween, we're like 2 months early, let alone advent calendar. But I'll probably do dedicated videos for those. Yeah, let's keep these for that, because it's just embarrassing to be talking about that. I mean, it's 110 degrees right now in Austin. To talk about winter? Moving on. Beauties, It's Belle Cosmetics has sneak peeked this. They're up to something. They're up to something, and I can't wait to see what they have. It says the new collection will consist of 7 products. We're having this again from Nomad. We had this a few weeks ago. I talked about it in a to buy or not to buy. They had sneak peeked another image at that point in time, but now they have more dates. So they're going to start the guessing game on the 21st. They're going to actually reveal the destination on the 25th, and they're going to show us the color story on the 26th, and it's going to launch on the 29th. Okay, they've given us a little bit of time, because Nomad is one of those brands that's like, they're going to launch tomorrow, they'll let you know today. Also, beauties, again, I've mentioned this time and time again, and I keep mentioning it. Don't forget to use a code. I believe with every single brand I've talked about so far, you can use a code. So don't forget to do that. As far as Nomad's concerned, beauties, I have purchased, the last palette that I purchased from them is the Royal Europe palette, and I did a few eye looks with it. I haven't had the time to edit that video, but I'm going to edit it and put it in this channel. I know it's going to be a little bit late, but I like that palette a lot. That palette completely changed my mind of Nomad. Actually, they released a few palettes since, but I still would like to just put that video up because I like that palette a lot. And the quality of that palette was good enough that I would be open to a future release from Nomad, given the color story is totally up my alley. They had a few releases since that palette, but I've heard great things about how they have upped their game, and I've actually personally experienced that. So if they come up with something colorful, I would be very much open to giving them another try. Okay, before I before I do this whole video without going into the palette, let's jump in. And as I mentioned, we're using these beauties. So let me go into this one. This is 104. And I'm going to use Scarier Than Ever, this beautiful color. And GlamLite, if you're watching these videos, the one thing that I beg of you to do, just like I beg of any brand that doesn't do this, please make these palettes magnetic. Make these shades come out. I'm putting this sort of in the outer V area. Okay, beauties, I really want to talk about this one. This is from For Art's Sake Cosmetics. These are Multichrome lips. And they're available in 3 shifting shades. They're lip glosses, and they're already available. I don't know if I've ever heard of this brand. If these look like what you see in the photo, amazing. I probably am gonna pass on these because they're glosses. Also, I feel like they're just a little bit less practical than I am as a person. Like, I don't want green on my, like, I don't need a shift of green to blue on my lips, you know? But if I felt insanely creative and adventurous and wanted to pick one up, it would probably be the light iridescent one, because I wonder what that looks like over other colors. I don't have a price, but in case I forgot to mention, this is already available. Okay, beauties, this color did not disappoint. The color is so beautiful. I'm in love. I'm in love. Okay, beauties, let's talk about Colourpop section of the week. Now, interestingly, we haven't talked about Colourpop in a few weeks. I think I forgot to talk about this release last time. So they had the release with Naruto, and of this release, the only things that caught my attention are the Super Shock eyeshadows that are swirly. Now, I don't really use Super Shock shadows. I have quite a few of them because back in the day I used to buy Colourpop collections. I got out of that habit. So now I just buy items. Back in the day when I used to buy swirlies, I really liked them. So the swirly ones, particularly the red one. And I was wondering if you could use that red one also for face. And I would be so curious to know what that looks like on face. But not so much to want to buy this. Also, the palette looks just too much like the Airbender one that they released a year ago. And, you know, lip gloss, I don't use glitter stuff. I don't use eyeliners. I have a whole lot of from Colourpop. Frankly, I think I might have a dupe for every single one of these 3 colors. So yeah, nothing from this, but I can't deny, as always, Colourpop has not disappointed on the design, on the execution. It looks very nice. They have also revealed new Rock On collection, which is not exactly a collection. It's the palette plus 2 Super Shock eyeshadows. These released on the 10th, and they're going to come to Ulta tomorrow on the 13th. So they're already available on Colourpop website. Frankly, beauties, this palette is a dupe for like 200 other 9-pan palettes that Colourpop has released. I have, what was the name? Fresh Squeeze? Yeah, Fresh Squeeze, I think that was the name. I have that palette, and I think that palette is the same palette as this. And I'm pretty sure a few other ones that they released here and there are also dupes. So do you need this if you have other 9-pans from Colourpop? No. Now, if you just got introduced to Colourpop, then that's a whole other story, because I don't know if Fresh Squeeze is still available. Also, maybe Fresh Squeeze was a little more red, but honestly, on your eyes, are people going to see that big a difference? I don't know. I mean, Fresh Squeeze had a red background, so it's also difficult to really remember whether the colors were that red or not. It's just, I'm pretty sure this exact, or 90% the same color story has been released in another palette from Colourpop. I don't think you need this palette. You have it. You definitely have this dupe somewhere. Beauties, I'm using GB13, And I'm going to go into this color. This is I Like to Be Hugged. And I'm going to deepen this out a little bit. And I'm going to pick up that first brush again, and I'm just going to blend this darker color into that first color. This, beauties, is my type of neutral. Like, these are colors that are sort of borderline neutral for someone like me who loves all kinds of colors of the rainbow. Okay, beauties, let's continue. I saw this, and if you all remember, I talked about a release from Kayali a few weeks ago, at least in a few to buy or not to buys ago, and I saw this miniature set from Kayali, and I'm here for this. I've heard great things about Kayali perfumes, and I would like to try them, but I don't know if I feel adventurous enough to just go buy the large size. So I would totally be up for something like this, like a miniature size. Although, how big are these? Are they 10 ounce? Because I don't know, is 10 ounce? 10 ounce seems a little too small, no? This is $95 a set, and it's already available on Huda Beauty. So I just need to figure out how big 10 ounce is. Again, I'm probably going to be traveling, so maybe not now, but I would like to try Kayali perfumes at some point. I've heard good things about them. Beauties, you all remember that Sigma Beauty had the 9 pans that they released last year? Now they have turned them into quads. So now they have these quads, these 6 quads. I think they each sort of match the 9 pans that they released last year. Tiramisu, creme brulee, peach pie, caramel apple candy, and blueberry parfait. Now, we all know Sigma Beauty is not my realm. They're just way too neutral for me. Even the, I would say the most colorful one here, which is either the berry one, which is not really berry, or the green one, which is not really green, they're still way too neutral for me. But if you're a neutral lover, this is your thing. And it's going to be coming soon. I don't have a price, but just keep your eyes open and check Sigma Beauty's website. Beauties, we talked about GlamLite, and we also talked about the fact that they were going to be collabing with Scarface, either last To Buy or Not to Buy or the To Buy or Not to Buy before. I'm going to use the brush that had the darkest color on it. I'm going to look up and I'm going to do my lower lash line. I'm just going to draw this. This is an amazing smoky brush. I'm going to draw this against my lower lash line. So they have done a little bit of a reveal of what this release is going to have, and this is the reveal. I'm still trying to figure out, is this an eyeshadow palette? Because it was long. At first I thought maybe this is something else, but now, you know, I'm seeing the pans and I'm like, okay, this has to be an eyeshadow palette. But those colors actually kind of reminded me of this palette. Don't they kind of look the same to you? I feel like the vibe is kind of the same. So I can't wait to see what other colors are going to be in that palette. But beauties, that gray that has a shift of pink, I don't know if it's just the photo or if that color is actually that special. I want to swatch that color. I'm going to pick this brush. This is 0127. I'm going to go back into the first color, Scarier Than Ever, and I'm just going to use it to sort of diffuse this dark color under my lash line. Beauties, this release is from Rebel Rouge Labs. 12 pan palette. It's supposed to have 80s and 90s thriller novels written by Christopher Pike kind of vibe. And this is already released. It's probably available on their website if you want to check it out. I'm not familiar with this novel series. I feel like if you are familiar, you're going to be a bigger fan. So it's a little bit, you know, I'm not going to get the references, but I can't deny I like the color story. I find it super colorful and nice. But I think I can dupe this with my singles. Did I talk about this last time? I don't think so. So Endangered Cosmetics has released a few releases. Was it Endangered Cosmetics that sort of went incognito? They just sort of closed shop for a little bit. I think so. If you know differently, write it in the comments below. But I thought they had a few palettes. They sort of sold them and they just kind of went quiet for a little bit. Now they're back and they are reintroducing the Sea Turtle palette and then also this other palette, the Red Panda palette. Sea Turtle is 36-ish, Red Panda is 45-ish. So Red Panda is obviously very neutral. It actually looks like what we were just talking about from Colourpop. Sea Turtle, I remember when this palette released some years ago. Beautiful palette, probably for its time. I feel like right now we've seen it all. So it's not going to jump out the screen as something super unique. But pretty nonetheless. If you were waiting on any of these, they're available already, I believe. Again, do not forget to use someone's code. I don't have a packing brush in the brushes that I showed you, so I have to use a different brand for packing brush. This is a Morphe collaboration with Nyan. I bought this from TJ Maxx. Let's use this. I'm going to go into this color, Good Guys. These are colors I did not use in the last eye look that I did with this palette and another To Buy or Not to Buy. Link is in the description box below. I'm trying to use different colors. And I'm going to do this. The issue that I have with this palette, and I mentioned this in my last To Buy or Not to Buy, I believe as well with this palette, is that it doesn't have a lot of light colors. It could have done 2 lighter colors and it would have allowed for a lot of more flexibility in the looks, which is exactly why GlamLite make these magnetic so that people can, you know, make their own palette. And my eye look is done. But we're not done with the video. So let's continue. The next thing I want to talk about, I'm very excited about. This released this morning and it is Eternal Collection and Halo Horizon Collection from Shine by SD. They both launched this morning at 8:30 a.m. CST. I have been eyeing them. They're just so beautiful. I'm on a no buy. Otherwise, you all know what would have happened. So the 6 Halo Horizons are going to be halo or holographic, beautiful shifty holographic shades, and the 12 Eternal shades are going to be perfect for one eyeshadow looks, and they have more everyday feel while being shifty. Yeah, there are quite a few things I still have my eyes on from Shine by SD. I am in the process of going through some of the videos that I have planned for you all. So even if I buy these today, I'm not going to have time to do anything with them. So it also doesn't make sense to do that. Separate from the fact that I have spent a whole lot of money recently buying stuff and I need to make videos with those before I get to these. So no, not yet, but I'm looking at them from afar and I'm drooling from afar. That's the word. I'm drooling from afar. Beauties, I should have talked about this last time because this released between my last 2 To Buy or Not to Buys, but somehow it escaped me and I forgot to talk about it. But you all know I love Gloss Gods. So let's talk about it now. These released, they're already available on Gloss Gods website, the top 4 2-quad palettes. They are beautiful. I can't find the price in dollars, but I'm pretty sure the blue one is a little more expensive. I'm guessing it's probably more shifty multichrome, and that one is also super, super beautiful. I mean, I'm not at the moment planning on purchasing anything from Gloss Gods, but you all know it's one of my favorite European indie brands, and I could totally see myself pick these 2 in a future purchase. The only complaint that I have is that one of these palettes has a matte black. Oh goodness. You all know, well, if you've been following me, that I'm not the biggest fan of matte black, but that blue palette, it looks delicious. I can't wait to see how that looks on me. Also, beauties, let's talk about Terra Moons' collab with Krystal Clear Makeup. I don't think I've ever talked about this collab, but they had announced this collab a few months ago, and now they have revealed this photo. Before everything, let me preface by saying it's always exciting to see collaborations between influencers and brands. always. And when I saw this release announced, I went on Krystal's page to sort of learn more, and I realized that she's a very large influencer and most of her eye looks are very neutral and sort of mainstream mundane looks. Now that's not kind of what I was expecting. I was expecting someone who would really go with the brand, who would be very much into indie brands, who would be very much into special shifty type of shades, and that wasn't my take of this particular influencer. Again, it's always exciting to see the collabs, but I just was not very clear on the logic for choosing that particular influencer. It seemed to me, at least, that the brand was trying to go with a very large, perhaps very known influencer outside of the indie space to increase its own brand visibility, which is a good business decision if that's what Terra Moon wants. But the concern there is that I don't know if I would want to purchase a palette that's designed by someone who doesn't have any presence in the indie space. And the reason I say that is because her kind of aesthetic does not seem like that would be the same as my type of aesthetic. I mean, look at my eye look right now. I would like to see what they have before making a decision, but based on what I've seen, I don't see myself picking this up. Another thing is that there is a whole lot of controversy around this release. And honestly, the first thing that controversies does to me is it shuts me off. It makes me not want to pick anything up because I prefer being safe in situations where I don't feel like I'm informed enough and I can't make a decision. It's always safer to not make a purchase than to make a purchase and then after the fact feel like you shouldn't have. That's kind of how I feel at this point in time. I would love to see the reveal of the palette, though. I'm definitely excited for that because Terra Moons is a brand that I really, really love. And also another thing is that I do have to say I have both of the palettes that Terra Moons has released in the past. So this is the El Barrio palette and this is the inside. This is a more or less a rainbow palette, and I don't know if you can really make a lot of different eye looks with it because most of these colors are dark colors. Like you can make a lot of colorful looks with it, but you know, if you're trying to create gradations and you know, those kinds of things, I don't know how much flexibility you will have with a palette like this. I think this palette is missing lighter colors. I feel like I say that about a lot of palettes. It is also ironically missing dark colors. Like it could have a very, very dark color, darker than that as well. And then I also have the palette that they released last year, and I even have a video with it doing eye looks and all of that. I'll post that video in the description box below as well. Now the issue I had with this palette was that I found the color super dark. I found this palette missing some light colors. So one thing I did is that I actually redid the palette for myself and I swapped some of the colors from the actual palette out and replaced them with lighter colors. So this palette, as it looks, has some pans that are from Terra Moons singles that don't belong to the palette that I put in the palette, like this one, like that one. So I thought this palette with the modification suits my needs more than the palette itself. But based on that, I'm curious to see what Terra Moons has done in this collab. Have they perfected the art of doing the full gradation, or is the palette still not going to be fully my aesthetic? I'm curious. Okay, beauties, I am back with the completed look. I put Moody from Blend Bunny on my lips. You should all be super familiar with this. I have come to the realization I'm really liking this. The formulation, I very fast forget that I'm having anything on my lips. It's that comfortable. I also really like the color, and I think the color goes very much with this eye look because they're both sort of dusty mauve cool tones. Thank you as always for being here with me. If you enjoyed this video and if you enjoy these kinds of videos, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing to my channel. I do these videos very frequently. Also, don't forget to write to me in the comments below if you have any particular opinions on any of the releases that I mentioned, if you've picked any of them up, or that you've used them and you have a particular opinion. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Thanks again, beauties. I love you all. Have an amazing day, and until next time. Bye.